Let's start the homework questions on section 8.1. And for problem number 1, I need to find each ratio to 4 decimal places using a calculator. So for the assigned homework questions, as you can see, I have the answers written down. And let me just quickly go over how you get those answers with a calculator. So for question 1A, if you're given sine 35, make sure that you're actually on degree mode first. So all the questions in chapter 8, you'll be on degree mode. And all you're doing is you're just typing in the function like sine of 35 degrees. And just hit enter, and that's how you get the answer of 0.5736 to 4 decimal places. And for tan 81, just type in tan, and then just type in your degrees, 81 degrees, and then hit the enter button, and you get 6.31575. So just round up to 4 decimal places, and you should get 6.3138. Okay, so move on to question number 2 now. And for question number 2, you'll also notice that in my homework video guide here, I have the answers to some of the selected problems there, and we need to measure the angle to 1 decimal place. So let me walk you through how you find that particular answer using your calculator. So for question 2A, you're given sine theta equals to 0.6348. If you're trying to find the angle, you want to find the inverse of sine, so that second sine. So as you can see, that sine to the power of minus 1, that's the inverse right there. And then just after that, just type in 0.6348 and then hit enter. And if you do that, you should get 39.4 degrees to 1 decimal place. So anytime you're trying to find angle, you definitely need to use the second inverse function to find that. And for 2b, I have cos theta equals to 0.6348. So once again, since you're trying to find the angle, hit second cos, and then just type in the numbers that are given to you, 0.6348, and then hit enter, and you should get 50.6 degrees rounded up to 1 decimal place. So definitely try some of those questions using your calculator, and make sure you're on degree mode. And for question number 2, if you're finding the angle, always use the inverse option on your calculator there. Okay, let's move on to question number 3 now, actual problems now. Solve the following triangles to 1 decimal place. Okay, so for this particular problem, sometimes you're given like an angle or sides, and you got to find out those missing values using everything that you do know. Let's go ahead and find angle A here. So angle A is right there, and you'll notice that angle A is an angle within a 90-degree triangle, and you're given 41 degrees, and you also know that this is going to be 90 degrees. So you can use the concept of angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if I want to find angle A, that's the same thing as taking 180 degrees and subtracting the 2 given angles. So you're given 41 degrees and 90 degrees. If I subtract those, you would get 49 degrees for angle A. So angle A is 49 degrees. Do your best to write small in this section here, because every time I write up a solution, I'm going to erase it and move on to the next problem, okay? Now let's go to find x here. So x is right there. So x is a side. So what are you given in this problem? Well, you're given the 41 degrees, you're given this 10, and you need to find the length of side x. Okay, so with respect to 41 degrees, this 10 is your opposite. And since x is next to the 41 degrees, this is your adjacent. Okay, so you're given the opposite and the adjacent. So the trig ratio that you're looking for is tan, because tan uses the opposite and the adjacent. Now, how do you set your ratio? Well, you write out tan of the angle, which is tan of 41 degrees, equals to, now what's the opposite? The opposite is 10, and what's the adjacent? The adjacent is x, so you divide by x. So now you're solving that equation there, and you want to get x by itself. So what you can do is you can interchange the tan 41 degrees with x. So x will go to the top left-handed corner, the 10 remains, and the tan 41 just goes on the bottom here. So you just swatch, you're just flipping those two positions there, right? X goes to the top left, and the tan 41 degrees goes on the bottom right. All right, so from here on, you just use your calculator to compute this. On your calculator, let me just bring it out here, erase that. So it's going to be 10 divided by, and tan of 41. Okay, so just put that into your calculator just like that. 10 divided by tan of 41 degrees. Hit enter, and you should get 11.5 rounded to 1 decimal place. So this is equal to 11.5. All right, so going back to the top here, this is going to be 11.5. Okay, from there, I would erase all this. Okay, after that, we need to find side Z. So here's Z right here. So I know the 10 is the opposite, and if I look at the Z here, Z is across from the 90-degree box, so this is going to be your hypotenuse. All right, so you're given now the opposite and the hypotenuse, so you want to use sine, right? Because sine uses the opposite and the hypotenuse. Now, how do you set your trig ratio? Well, it's going to be sine, right? Because sine uses the opposite and the hypotenuse. It's sine of the angle, which is 41 degrees, and your opposite comes first, which is your 10, and your hypotenuse is going to be Z. So just like the previous problem, you're going to take this Z and this sine 41 degrees, and you're going to interchange those two pieces there. So Z will go in the Z will go in the top left-hand corner, and sine 41 will go in the bottom right-hand corner. So 10 divided by sine 41 degrees. After that, just go to your calculator again. Let me just show you how you do that one more time. It's 10 divided by sine of 41 degrees, and you get 15.24. So rounded to 1 decimal place, it would be 15.2. So this would be 15.2. All right, so that's how you solve question 3A.